Saturday the 12th of December, and it's time for another window on the TooFatLardies Oddcast Advent Calendar. Today we're going to ask Nick what's the most positive thing about wargaming that he's discovered in lockdown.
Oh, this is quite a tough one, isn't it? Because actually, there's so many challenges that lockdown has created. It's very, very easy for us to focus on what we have not been able to do. We've not been able to go to the club. We've not been able to socialise. We've not been able to do the many shows that we would have done and do the many lard days. It's very easy to say that we missed out on so much, and of course we did. This is the year when we will have missed out on all that. But however, I guess it's important also that we're able to focus on what we were able to achieve and what we were able to do during this really difficult year. And so I guess really I would say that I feel very lucky, actually. I feel very, very lucky that I have throughout the past 9 months actually had an income that has been steady and stable and enabled me to still put some time into the hobby. I know that very, very many others will not have had that available to them, and I feel very lucky actually that I've been able to keep that economic stability for the family as we go through this, because obviously that would be stressful if that weren't the case. Now, however, that did mean that I had to make some changes to the way that I worked, and actually as somebody who had always worked, or certainly for the last 10 years worked from home, the prospect of working from home when the entire family is with you creates another set of challenges. And what it meant for me was I was having to change the hours that I worked, and therefore at the end of the day was spending family time when I might otherwise have been spending hobby time. So initially my hobby time became less, but as things settled in, I was able to find that time for painting. I'm one of those guys, I think I've said this before, I don't have a permanent painting station. Whenever I want to paint, I need to go into the garage, get the paints out, go into the dining room, put the cover on the table and sit down and paint. So it's not just a straightforward thing that I can do just for 20 minutes just to keep my eye in. It's more of an activity that requires a chunk of time. I need to be doing it for an afternoon or a morning, or for a chunk of time that makes it worthwhile and isn't inconveniencing other people in the house. And of course when your whole family's in the house, that's more likely to be the case that you're in the way. So that was tricky, but what I was able to do was find that space, and I was able to paint and eat into that lead mountain that I'm sure we've all built up, and paint some different units, and also it's been one of those things where I've been shopping online, as we all have, but knowing that we're not going to be at shows has probably made me cast my net a bit wider from some of my more familiar suppliers and start to get some things, some bits and pieces from other suppliers, other traders, because also you know that you're supporting them, and those of them that were able to stay open during lockdown, because of course some of them famously, for instance, war bases put their hand towards making protective PPE, masks, etc. Those that were able to continue to operate and could get into their factory units and send out their products, of course we were very, very reliant on them. So that's a really strong thing. I think the hobby really pulled together as well to support and share, I guess, the love of the hobby and the love of the small traders through that really time. That's really, really important. And so I was able to find time to paint, and I was able to find time to enjoy that. I've been interested to play Zoom games again because of family commitments. Strangely, I've not actually been able to play as many as I might have done, but we certainly played a lot of Zoom games, and we played quite a lot of Discord games as well. Certainly initially in lockdown we went Discord crazy, and I found myself actually relying more and more on Twitter, using Twitter as a crutch for my hobby. And this would especially be the case in the evening. You've worked hard, you've been perhaps in online Teams meetings all day where you've been staring at a laptop, and of course you know that there's other things you should be doing involving the laptop, but when you come to the evening you just know you need to be looking at something else. So what do? You go downstairs, spend time with the family, and then within 3 minutes you find yourself looking at your phone and getting drawn into a Twitter conversation where somebody is sharing their latest unit that they've painted, and actually sharing the love, if you like, on that Twitter feed has been a really key focus, I guess, of lockdown. And I think probably that is one of the things that's kind of kept me going, kept my mojo going at a time when I think my mojo would otherwise have been severely threatened. So the combination of those two things, the painting inspiration that comes from looking at what other people are doing and sharing on social media, is really, really helpful. And I find that, again, it drives me to create my own stuff and to find that space at the end of the day when it's all too easy to be doing nothing else, to find that space to say, you know what, I'm going to set my paints up and I'm going to do some painting and finish off a unit and create something. Do some plastic conversions, which is always good fun, isn't it, as well, and sharing some of those, some jump off points for chain of command, or some different unit little vignettes for sharp practice. They're the kind of thing that I think can really keep you ticking over. Certainly for me, these quick wins keep me ticking over. It's quite hard to focus on painting a big army when you only have small chunks of time to do it in, and I like therefore to focus and break down those units into smaller chunks and do it that way. So that's been a lot of fun. I also think that the strength of the Lard community has been really, really positive thing that's flashed before my eyes, many occasions during lockdown. At a time when we've not been able to share and come together for Lard days or for big game shows, at a time when we've not been able to shake hands and share stories and have a laugh and a beer and go out for a curry with the many friends that we've got in the hobby. Social media has helped us to stay in touch. Discord has helped us to play games with people on the other side of the planet. Zoom likewise. And I think we're really, really grateful to Jeremy Short for his virtual Lard events that have enabled, more than 50 gamers to come together to play Lard games. Some of them for the first time, some of them for the millionth time. And that's really what I guess it's been fantastic to see those people to come together to enjoy and share the hobby that we love and create new friendships, that actually shows that we will beat this virus and we will emerge out of this with a very strong hobby that will be fun for many years to come.
Remember, Lard is for life and not just for Christmas.